So, if I'm in my email and I want to send a message to a large group of people, but I don't want to have to type in their names every single time, I can make lists or groups for emailing them all at once. Let's take a look. When I'm in my email, I'm going to start by actually going up to the cluster of squares I see in the corner here. And I can come down and go to Contacts. Now in here, it used to be called Groups. They've changed it to Labels, so this matches up with our email now a little bit closer. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Create Label. Create one for my training staff. And save. So there's our training staff label. I can click on it, and there's currently nobody in that group, nobody under that label. I'm going to go ahead and hit search for Tina. Click on her. I can see some details here. She's one of our integrated learning technology coordinators. And I can come down and click on training staff. I can close that window, and she has now appeared on this list under my training staff label. So I can go ahead and find the rest of them here. Ryan, I can grab, also one of our integrated learning technology consultants, and add him to my list. And we've also got Mark Janke. I will add him, click down to the list, and training. And I can close this window. So they are now on my list for training staff. If I need to email them, I can do that. I can also use this when I'm sharing files in Drive. I can type training staff and their names will pop up, and I can share files with them that way if I wanted to. I can go over to my email now and hit compose. And if I've got a list created, like my tips and tricks, I can go to tips and I'll see that list start to appear here and all those addresses under it. So it's not going to put tips and tricks when I click it. It's actually going to fill up all the names on that list, and I can remove them individually if I wanted to. Now, in this case, when you initially create a list, it usually doesn't pop up here that quickly. So if I type training, which it did, it was quick, training staff. So there it is, all three names. Now if I had just created the list and it wasn't appearing here quite yet, and I wanted to use it, I can still do that from Contacts. So if I just go back to my Contacts tab for a moment, when I've clicked on my training staff label and I see all these guys here, I can select them and I get an email icon right here. I can send in a message to that group of people this way as well. So if it's not popping up quickly enough for me under my email, I can always do it right from Contacts, send that message, and away it goes. I can add and remove people from this list anytime I need to, and that is how you create a mailing list in Google.